So, hello, greetings everyone, and welcome to the Slam Jam Championship Wrestling Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremes as well as the Slam Jam channels. Tonight, we are going to be discussing everything that's happening in the world of pro wrestling, and we have two new world champions, at least. There could even be a third by now. But on the show tonight, Gav, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. A long time.
It has been a little while indeed. Dave, say hello.
Hello, yes, indeed. We've been obviously had a bit of a hiatus, and we've had like about 3 new world champions in 2 weeks, which is I don't think has ever happened in the history of the show before. So
no, it almost feels like we're in the last year of WCW Monday Nitro, where there was a new champion on Monday and Thursday, guaranteed. But yeah, so since last week, so Sami Zayn was world champion and became world champion, and then I think his reign lasted 9 or 10 days, and now he's dropped it to CM Punk, and then over on the other side of the wrestling world, Kenny Omega beat MJF for the world title, which I'll be honest, I was surprised. I was surprised that he went that route just a few weeks out from All in London.
What's that? It's actually closer to Redemption in Montreal. I've still got one more pay-per-view before All In.
Wait, AEW have got another pay-per-view.
Yeah, end of this month.
Wow,
that's insane.
They didn't save it for a pay-per-view. They decided to do it on a Dynamite. They must have known something was out there thinking, hang on. We had some sort of insider on the inside saying, well, Sami Zayn's probably losing the title next Monday, so maybe we can make the Omega match happen that week to make sure we get the title on.
Is MJF injured?
No, it's been built. They have done subtle build.
Right.
It's been quite subtle in that they've had like moments like backstage things between Ospreay and Omega. But I think that has been the plan to make Omega Ospreay the main event for Wembley, because they did MJF and Ospreay last time they were at Wembley, so they didn't really want to. I don't think I wanted to go there again, I guess. And he's got an angle going with Andrade, which I imagine will be the match for either Redemption or All In. So it's like I say, it was a surprise. I think they did it on TV, and just sort of how they got there was a little bit surprising, I think, or just a little bit random. But they did the thing again of saying, "Oh, you can get this shot, Kenny, but it's your last ever shot. Like if you don't win this, you never win the world title again." Same as they don't with Hangman. So yeah, and as I say, there has been subtle build between Omega and Ospreay. So and I think they probably wanted to do this match for a while, and if they don't do it this year, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. Now here was the weird thing. So I've seen that the title change happened, and I've seen some highlights, but I watched Dynamite last week where the challenge was thrown down with Omega, and it's that if you want the if you want to face me for the world title, if you lose, you can never challenge for it ever again. And then Kenny Omega's contemplating this the whole show. And then just before he goes out through the curtain, his music starts, and Will Ospreay runs up to him. It's like, what are you doing? You can't do this. And Kenny Omega's like, I need to do this. I'm like, wait, you've just told everyone your decision before you come out to the ring to tell everyone your decision, which wasn't the smartest planning. But I was like, okay, so because Omega's had health problems, and I thought, they're actually going to write him out of this. So I guess Ospreay Omega is a all-in main event.
Yeah,
and I think I was completely unaware, because like I said, I watched last week's show. I didn't even remember them ever mentioning that there was such a show as AEW Redemption Canada happening or whatever. But I suppose I was going to say they should have had this match cooking for a little bit longer, because they've only got just over a month anyway. But the fact that they've got another pay-per-view to fit in before then seems crazy to me. Yeah. So I don't know. Like we'll see where they land up. Hopefully they're not going to. You go on, Gab.
All In is at the end of the month, isn't it? Of August, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but again, like this is one of the things with All In. It's such a unique show, being Wembley Stadium. It's by far, and like last year they were all in Texas, weren't they?
Yeah.
But these shows are they're the sort of like 4 or 5 times bigger than any of the other shows they potentially put on in the year. You'd have thought that they'd have had their main event kind of set so they could be heavily promoting it 2 or 3 months out, because they need it in the print. Like when you go on the London Underground and you see it like on the posters along the sides, you kind of wanted that up. So this year's been a little bit strange with the AEW World Title going obviously from MJF to Darby to MJF and now to Omega to lead into, I guess, Ospreay winning it. And maybe along the way they were just like, oh, we want to give Darby the belt, and if we don't do it now, and we want Ospreay to have a long run, so maybe they just decided to cram this in along the way. Similar, I guess, to maybe Sammy with the WWE World Title.
I think with Sammy, I kind of like that one because obviously he had the crowd with him, and it kind of went back to like, oh, let's go back to this Mick Foley, like giving it to him, and even with Kane having like a one-day run. So I know everyone's there complaining about, oh, Sammy's only had it for 9 days and whatnot. I think this is just going back to how it used to be, and I actually liked it. I liked it because it was surprising. It kind of changed a lot of the program as well, because it was getting so stale as well. But
well, see, yeah, like here's the thing in WWE. We are now in the era of very long runs with the world title generally. And so with Roman having a belt and Cody having a belt, it just felt like, well, these belts are under lock and key for a long time. They couldn't help but immediately say the Summer of Punk number 2. How many Summer of Punk number 2s have we had now? Like, there's been a lot of Summer of Punk number 2s.
If you remember any good CM Punk references, you know that they shouldn't be calling it number 2 around Punk at all, really, should they?
Shit, I don't know. What is that about?
Yeah. Do you not remember when he told when he was?
Oh, when he shit himself in the ring. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, but what were your guys' takes on any of these world title changes? Let's dig into it a bit more before we skip through.
I think that the whole Punk sort of thing is. I haven't watched all of Raw, so I don't know what the sort of setup for it was, apart from Gunther attacking Cody and him sort of being taken out of the match and situation. Was it something like that? Did Nick Aldis sort of sort it out that Punk was doing it or something like that? So I guess it's adding many layers to the angles and things like that, saying that Aldis is like making sure Gunther didn't get the title shot or something like that by putting Punk in there and like outdoing what's his face, Raw GM Pierce, it's the reaction I found quite intriguing, especially by the ones that are in the company. I don't know if you saw that sort of montage of I don't know if someone put it in the group chat, but the montage of like various people like Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens all tweeting about how Punk's a hypocrite and the various side pictures have been out there. Sami Zayn's head put onto Yokozuna's body and Punk being Hogan and Cody being Bray, at Mania 9. So I mean, there's all that, but obviously it is an angle. But I'm intrigued to see whether or not the guys that are doing that are also in on the angle or not. If you know, because it's obviously
I think they must be
take that position against him because they are in that sort of anti-Punk movement as such. So it's interesting to see if they've been clued up in it or they're just taking advantage of being able to shoot a shot at Punk.
Yeah. I think they knew. Like, I think this was the angle all along. And anyway, to get it off Cody to then get it to Punk and make the big main event. Because of going back to like that promo that Punk had the day after WrestleMania on Raw, and he was there saying about you never know when a title shot might drop out the sky and all this kind of stuff. And so I think it was all planned even back then, to be honest. But again, it creates more Sammy as well. So I thought it was pretty good.
I'll tell you where I think this is going in a second. But Dev, hello.
Hi, Dev.
Hello.
How goes it?
Pretty good, thank you. It's too hot.
It's
Way too hot.
Freaking hot.
Yeah.
It's insane. What I was going to say is that I don't know, maybe this is a mistake, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that this is heading into heel CM Punk again.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%. It just feels like this being in Chicago, he would get that babyface reaction, but all the tweets and everything, and the fact that ever since Punk came back and he's been a face and the fans love him, it has been very much the case that a lot of the wrestlers, their portrayal is that they actively dislike him and that he's a hypocrite and all these things. Drew obviously lent into it heavily. Seth does and always has. Sammy now will, like Becky Lynch, Kevin Owens, all these people will be ganging up.
Jack Perry.
Jack Perry even got in on this. Yeah. Okay, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But I think what they can do from this is, because if they're now positioning that it'll be Punk versus Cody at SummerSlam, Sammy will be like, I was robbed. I wasn't meant to be against this guy. It was my first title defense. This wasn't fair. And now my title defense, my rematch is going to Cody Rhodes. And so literally he can just take the position of, I'm going to have to fight up to WrestleMania.
This is what I was going to say, because this is actually going to make Sammy the bigger babyface out of everything. Because the thing is, like, everyone was there thinking, I've heard it on different websites and everything, this is going to make Sammy the biggest heel. And but I don't think he reacted that way to be the biggest heel now. Because I think everything he's going to say now is correct. So,
yeah.
I mean, the best heels do say that they actually say the truth in their thing. But I still think this is going to make Sammy the actual ultimate heel, ultimate babyface, sorry. I should say.
Yeah, sure.
The last real good guy, if you were.
There you go.
The interesting thing is, though, I wonder if Sam... I have not seen Sami Zayn be serious and not fumble it, because he always comes across as too whiny. I don't like it. He's like the week of Sami Zayn, and it should have been obvious that he was about to lose it, because he was getting on social media, with his belt in the cast, pushing it on swings. He's trying to have as much content as world champion in between TV appearances as possible.
What I don't like is how Sammy's always the third person in a feud. He's never allowed to have one-on-one feuds. He's always a addition to a bigger feud.
There are some people that WWE especially treat like that over the years. Like Christian was that in the world title picture. Wade Barrett was kind of that in the world title picture. There's just some people where they obviously just don't have enough absolute faith. And look, when Sammy won, there was quite a lot of backlash being like, what, this is the world champion now? And stuff like this.
Yeah.
Most of that backlash from internet morons.
Well, yeah.
But look like a world champion to me.
Yeah.
Hardcore Holly as well.
Hardcore Holly.
Oh, yeah, we discussed this last week. I still don't believe
Vince
that's
Russo was losing his shit over it. There was... all of the commentators.
Is that really him, though? Is that really his account?
Hardcore Holly?
Yeah.
I said this on the show last week. I don't think it's his angle. I think it was, because I remember I had interacted with Hardcore Holly on Twitter when I was on it years ago. What it was him. I'm pretty sure he sold his account.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I got rid of it. Someone else took it over, because there's no way he'd have written all that. I don't think he cares that much.
No, I don't think he would.
He's just like... He's like, he can't believe it. He's not in the Hall of Fame. They've never once brought him back. Like, he was there from about 1992, 1993, up until like 2015, 16, 17, or something like this. And they've never once brought him back for a nostalgia pop or anything. And now he's just like, and now Sami Zayn is the world champion.
Would he get a pop, though? That's the thing. Would he receive a pop?
No, I don't think.
Hang
on. 1 second. Hang on. Just on Bob Holly here. I was going to say, and I said this last week. Look, we don't have the Iron Sheik anymore. I always used to read out the tweets. Bob Holly may be the replacement here. And Dave, I'm inclined to think that this is not Bob Holly, because his most recent tweet 3 hours ago is Stephanie Vicaire hasn't been seen on TV in months. I believe her ass cheeks caught a bad case of full moon fever, and they couldn't pass the wellness policy. So this cannot be the real Bob Holly.
It's
I
not
need
Bob
Bob Holly
Holly.
to read that out loud.
Sorry?
I need Bob Holly to read that out loud.
Oh dear.
But yeah, as I was saying, the problem with, like, for example, Christian was Vince hated Christian for whatever reason.
Mm.
Like, even on commentary, Todd Christian was saying he wanted to put like Christian moreover, and Vince was telling him, "Don't sound excited, sound bored. You say it's Christian." That's
Yeah,
all.
I've heard this as well.
Like,
But, yeah.
why?
Why?
You just hated, and the blue dot thing as well. The blue dot.
Yeah.
See, here was the weird thing with Christian.
When it put a blue dot over his
Vince
face.
had a mandate where.
Oh god, they were, weren't they? Yes.
Christian's
I
face.
never understood this because literally when they brought in Christian originally, it's like it's another Edge because he was so similar to Edge. They knew each other, they looked alike, they wrestled alike, they had the same body shape and everything.
They were
And
supposed to be brothers.
arguably, I would say overall, if I had to rate them, I am much more of a fan of Christian than I ever was of Edge.
Oh god, yeah.
Infinitely.
Yeah.
And yet, for some reason, like Vince obviously never took the liking to Christian. Yeah.
Edge didn't have an edge to him until he stole Matt Hardy's girlfriend.
Well, see, Edge was fake. Look, it's amazing how that actually did wonders for Edge's career, because he'd had an injury, and when he came back, it was kind of a bit flat, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that really did give him an edge, you know, ironically enough.
I love it, pal. Tells you everything, really, doesn't it? But,
Yeah, that explains the whole Rusev thing as well. Vince's mindset when it comes to like cheating couples,
Yeah.
because the amount of times he put Rusev in, someone else takes your girlfriend angles throughout his career.
I was just about to say he's doing it again, but he's not him, is it? Really? It's Triple
Yes,
H.
it is.
Right.
It's
I think
definitely
it might be him.
at the back pulling the string.
Yeah, I
Right.
think so as well. Because look at Maxine and Austin Theory now.
Yeah.
And like Maxine's a married woman. Like,
Yeah.
to do that now with
Yeah.
that and Dom and Liv. I
Not
guess.
like blondes.
Okay, so let's get it. So we've spoken a little bit. Okay, so what do we think? Anything else about Punk winning the title? We think he's going to. Do we think he'll keep it long term? If Paul Heyman is if Brock is retiring at SummerSlam, if that's the idea, I think they'll find a way to reunite Punk and Heyman.
Yeah.
They'll have him turn on whatever remnants of the Vision are left, that failed experiment that it was, and then they can just plow on towards WrestleMania with Punk. And if it's to put over Sami Zayn at Mania or whoever they go with, I think heel Punk leading into Mania. I just hope they bring The Rock back.
Depending on how good Moana does.
Oh my! Moana is apparently bombing hard. Well, I don't know if it's bombing at the box office, but the reviews are slating the shit out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
saying
wow.
they're saying it's pointless, and it is.
It is.
You've got a film that's 10 years old. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're remaking it with the guy who is the same. It's literally the same dialogue, same actor, same voice. What was the point of doing this? And most of it is apparently CGI anyway.
And sorry?
Most of it apparently is CGI. So
Oh,
And
right.
the main point everybody I speak to has brought up is The Rock has no nipples.
shit, I need to look that up.
They've
Okay.
CGI'd his nipples off.
That's ridiculous.
Of all the things I expected you to say, shit, I need to look that up. I wasn't expecting to be that, Dave.
hey, I
need to look up the Rock's nipples.
This is like the reverse of the bat nipples in Batman and Robin. Moana Rock. Let's have a look.
Being funny as well. Why would he put himself as Moana as Maui?
He's not playing Moana again.
Well, he's not playing Moana.
Right.
Maui.
Hang on, check
They
this out,
changed
guys.
the girl already, didn't they? So
There we go. No nipples. Weird.
Okay.
Weird.
I mean, is that an official shot of the film? I don't think it is. Is it?
It is. No, well,
What scene in the film is it? Is it that
No,
is he
no,
walking
that's
around with a
him on
bunch
set.
of crew?
no, but look, the whole
It's
point
not a
was.
finished. It's not a finished picture from the film, is what I'm saying.
But why would they leave his nipples off when it's live action and think
Because
we'll
they
add
need
them in
to- as
post?
you said, it's CGI. Don't his tattoos move in the original movie?
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That is true.
So it might be because it's CGI.
But
Plus, he's wearing shades.
wait, but why would you leave his nipples off and think we'll fix it in post? Right.
I don't know. Do his nipples have eyes in the original movie? I don't know. They move out.
I didn't know it was post.
Yeah. Imagine
I
if that
can't
was
believe
a
we're
genuine
talking about
oversight.
Moana. I can't believe we're talking about Maui's nipples.
But no, hang on, this is good though. Imagine if that's a genuine oversight and they're like 9 weeks into filming and they're like, oh, wait, because it's a fake bodysuit. And it's like The Rock, who's like one of the most hench guys in America. And it's like, well, we better get a fake muscle suit for him. And obviously that's just so he doesn't have to have like 11 hours of makeup on the tattoos every day. But they're just like, we forgot to put the nipples on. We'll fix it in
honestly,
post.
I could go on and on. I
Brilliant.
even forgot to put my nipples on. Yeah.
I like that.
Wow.
Definitely.
Well, anyway, so yeah, Kenny Omega is the world champion in AEW. We're heading rapidly, apparently, with a Canadian redemption along the way towards All In 2026.
I think he's winding down and he wants one final world title reign where he gets to go to different countries.
Yeah, because look, he was. Imagine AEW starting, and you're one of the guys that started it. He did become world champion, but the entire run was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So
Drew.
yeah, 100%. You know, he did deserve to get another run with it, even if it's only going to be like 6 weeks.
A bit like Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My God, like yeah, and look, and what the hell was with where is Drew McIntyre actually?
It's filming Highlander.
Oh,
Highlander,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another remake that didn't need to be done.
Yeah. But will he have nipples? Now, so Ospreay won the Owen.
Yep.
And so he gets the world title match against Omega. They're probably planning for this to be a 7-star classic, I should imagine. Ospreay to win in the UK, you know, in England. I think all of that, you know, makes sense for where they're heading in the right direction there.
Yeah.
Do any of you foresee a heel turn from Ospreay? Because they're leading into this whole sort of thing with him being part of the Death Riders, and he's sort of being ingratiated more and more into it, isn't he? Apart from obviously when he just fell over, apart from that moment, it's sort of like they they made him an official Death Rider now. I think on last week's show or something, and he's doing tags with Moxley now and getting more and more in that sort of vicious sort of side out of him in order to get the world title. And it's going to be more of a case of the Death Riders want the world title in their camp, even if it's not Moxley having it, because he's obviously Continental Champion. So there seems to be some. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think
they can
it's a
tease
good
this.
idea.
Yeah, go on.
But I don't think it'd be a good idea. Certainly not to do it in the UK when they're going to cheer him winning.
Yeah. If All Out is the following month, either they can have him turn there, or they can. What I think they could probably more likely do is not have him join the Death Riders, because that's kind of Death Riders is played out for quite a lot of years now from its origins. And if it's that we want you to join the Death Riders and then he doesn't, then they could build up to Double or Nothing and have Mox versus Ospreay next year. They could build up towards that. They could. Do you remember like when? I'm trying to think. Even like years ago when it was like Daniel Bryan going to join the Wyatt family and stuff like this. They could do stuff where they're integrating him into it, but then he kind of completely breaks away from it, and then it can just build into Double or Nothing next year.
I heard this weird image in my head. I don't know. if Ospreay can do it. I know Kenny Omega could definitely do it, where Ospreay acts like a heel, but like a hammy heel, like Raul Julio, like really like over the top fake heel, like, oh, I'm clearly mocking the bad guys. I'm not a bad guy, but I'm pretending to be one. I'm mocking them at the same time. Whereas this whole boisterous persona of like, oh look, I'm so evil, etc., when he's still a good guy.
I just don't think they need to do something like that with Ospreay. Once he's become world champion, just let him have that run as world champion, as a babyface world champion. Because look, he now has a feud lined up with MJF over the title, where MJF wasn't actually involved in this, and they could have Omega lose the title, and then at All Out they could have Omega challenge for it again. You know, they'll have whatever Full Gear or Revolution or what have you is coming up later in the year, or Dynasty. I forget the order of the AEW pay-per-views. And, you know, they could give Ospreay and Darby, because Darby can now, you know, more confidently be, you know, I'm not out of that picture yet. I only just got a taste of it and stuff like this. And then you just build a strong heel again if it's Mox next year for Double or Nothing, because then it's like you've got the star power behind it. But also, and we were saying about this last week, you're likely to have coming in over the next few months, 100% you will have Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. Kofi could go straight into the world title picture. Big name, huge star power. And then you're going to have Sheamus, which is something else which I guess we should get into on the show. And I'm not saying that you suddenly put Sheamus in for Double or Nothing, but you could have these guys come in and be world title challengers. And look, if you have former world champ, if you've got Will Ospreay, who's never been in WWE, and he's your world champion, babyface world champion, you can have Kofi come in as, well, I've been world champion, and over the other side, you know, look how they treated me. I want the world champion. If Ospreay knocks him, you know, not defeats him along the way, it elevates Ospreay that he's beat a legitimate world champion. Then Sheamus comes in, beat a world champion, and you can circle back round to these guys. You know, I'd like to see Kofi, if he goes to AEW, get a run as a world champion to kind of correct what happened in WWE. Sheamus, I don't know. It feels like his career is kind of winding down. My main hope for Sheamus is for him to come into AEW and have Cope's final match, because it would just be poetic to do that.
The bar.
I was going to say, you want the Death Riders gone, have Sheamus come in, take Cesaro, and those two team up to take out the Death Riders forever.
You can do, but so you've got Sheamus and you'd have Cesaro. Would they ever bring in El Patron, and who was the other one? And Ruth Miro's back in WWE.
Yeah,
you could have had this League of Nations reforming AEW.
To quote Wade Barrett on NXT recently, no one ever wanted to be in League of Nations.
Yeah.
Although speaking of Sheamus and Kofi, allegedly there's been a news item that came out. Both of those, like New Day and Sheamus, wanted to stay.
Yeah,
and they wanted
I can imagine you would.
They wanted to speak to Triple H, but TKO wouldn't let them speak to Triple H.
How can you stop someone speaking to Triple H? Like,
yeah,
it's like there's no way that. Look, Sheamus. One of the things that was said about Sheamus when he was like first suddenly getting that mega push, it was like, well, he hangs out and lifts weights with Triple H. I thought, at least once upon a time. You're gone, Dave.
I was going to say, well, with these sort of things, I was all about Triple H this, Triple H that. He doesn't negotiate the contracts.
Yeah,
he's the content officer. He's part of this to do with the TV, with the booking and all that sort of spaces. He has pretty much, I would imagine, he probably has some influence, but he has that final say in everyone's contract and who gets brought in, who doesn't.
I was going to say, I have a feeling that he put the tag titles on R-Truth and Damian Priest so that he can protect R-Truth from being released. That's all I'm thinking. Like, maybe that was a little plan. But I'm just speculating. But
look at what happened last year. R-Truth had a out of the blue feud with John Cena. And immediately they released him. It's like, well, why did you put some? It was like with Jinder suddenly sharing the ring with The Rock, and then they just released him. It's like, you could say, oh well, we'll give someone a little boost before, as a thank you, we'll give them something on TV. But in these cases, they came out.
Dave said though, giving him the feud would be Triple H trying to protect R-Truth from being released.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't do it, because the whole point is, they put him in the ring with Cena during Cena's retirement year, and before the dust had even settled on that, they'd released him. So,
speaking of that, by the way, I just realized Cena's last match on Raw was Sheamus' last match in WWE.
Oh, really?
With the one with Mysterio and.
So it was a multi-man.
Right.
The trio match they had. Well, Sheamus the last match.
Wow. Now, I think some of these releases are dumb because, like, in one sense, like, clearly Sheamus was just, like, being wound into, like, background in factions and stuff like that. Ever since the amazing heel turn of the New Day, they botched it from the very next week.
Yeah.
That was like one of the greatest heel turns.
Yeah.
And it was like within weeks of Cena's heel turn, where they botched that immediately as well. And gosh, like you're just putting the New Day in the background of, like, in segments of Raw. So in one sense, I'm pleased that these guys, Sheamus, Kofi, Woods, they're young enough, and I say that they're obviously veterans, but they're young enough so they could still get a run in AEW.
Oh yeah,
and still be meaningful. It won't be just like a nostalgia act. They still have at least a 3-year contract in any of them.
Yeah,
I will say that as well that you remember that a lot of these, going back to sort of contracts and things, and not being necessarily Triple H's like final idea, like final say or anything like that. Because he's not Vince at the end of the day. He's not in that position. But it just winds me up that these guys have been in such a great position that they are in. I don't mean a booking position or a stature position or anything like that, but I mean in a financial position that they are under these contracts, these guaranteed contracts for a long old while. And Tico, they're making the most money they've ever made, Saudi deal and all that sort of stuff. And they're trying to restructure these people's contracts so that they only get half of what they've been previously earning. So quite frankly, I think good on Sheamus, good on Kofi, good on Woods for basically saying, no, stop that. I know my value. Let's get out of it. And I think if more of them did that, then they'd probably realise, shit. Imagine if like tomorrow, later in this month, after SummerSlam, something like that Rollins decides to go because his contract's being restructured. What if Cody was getting his contract restructured? What if Roman was getting his contract restructured? And they all go, well, stop this. 3 of your top guys gone.
Yeah.
We're talking about like the guys who's saying, the guys that have been there for a while and have a veteran status in New Day and Sheamus. Them going at the end of the day is not going to be a massive deal. But what if the main eventers suddenly go, well, no,
I think TKO is killing WWE, I should say.
Yeah.
Because like they're doing that to the superstars, and they're actually stifling the fans as well. So like you see it with the SmackDowns and everything. Like we used to always like go on about AEW having empty stalls, and like it's now happening in WWE. Just can't afford to go.
No.
Yeah, it's absolutely insanity.
Yeah.
I looked this up the other day, and apparently, if you want the highest price tickets that you can get for like SummerSlam this year for night 1, night 2, it's going to set you back $30,000.
What?
And now that's 30. That's the elite package, which I'm sure will include a meet and greet and probably accommodation.
I need to match with that $30,000.
It was more expensive.
I need action with that $30,000, and I'm not talking about ring action.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. And when I looked up what is like the top ticket, I'll fact check this again, but just like individual night ticket for WrestleMania, it was like $10,000 to $15,000 for a seat. It's like, what is this? You'd think a front row seat. In my head, I'd be like, if I looked, I was like, wow, these tickets are £300. I'd be like, shit, I can't afford that. You know, and that seems expensive to me.
Yeah,
I went to New York and the ticket was $250. The hotel was $400,
Yeah.
and I got to do a crap ton more shit for about less than $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so when you look at the roster, and so I'll bring it up here because there are some people where you can think, oh, okay, who are they actually going to be saying they're going to restructure? Because I don't think they'd be saying it to Cody or Seth. But when you look,
no, I'm just giving that as a top of what if.
Yeah. But right, I could be like,
where they're going higher and higher up.
You can imagine that suddenly we're going to hear, oh, Bailey, they said we're going to restructure your contract or something like this, or
So
just looking along here.
Two people that said yes were
do you know who?
Miz and Seth.
Why Seth?
Seth.
Yeah, Miz and Seth.
Oh, if I was Seth, I would have been like, screw this. Like Miz, he is. I can imagine they would do it with Miz, but just because it's like, well, you're a big part of things, you're reliable as the history, but it's not like there's the excitement around him. There's not the buzz that there once was.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Damian Priest, I can see them doing it too. If they did it to Drew, I think Drew would bail.
Drew would leave. Gunther would leave.
I can imagine they'd do it to Finn as well.
Yeah.
Danhausen would take the cut and be like,
Danhausen has only just got there, so it'd be unlucky for him.
Danhausen's making some money for them.
He's not established enough to
make it all back on merch though.
Yeah. Be like, fine, I'll take the pay cut if I can get more of the merch money.
Has this just scrolled massively? I can't see any of this has gone on.
He's even going up and
down. LA Knight, they'd probably do it too.
They'll do that to him,
Would they do it to Logan Paul?
No. Logan Paul doesn't need them. So and they would get far more out of Logan Paul and
who's that guy there?
Which
next
one?
to Lyra.
Not Nash.
No, the other guy.
No, I don't know.
I don't recognize him.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. If I was Kaiser, though, I'd be like, look, I need to get 2 paychecks. I'd be like, if I'm on that roster page twice, you need to give me 2 paychecks. Absolutely.
Is he on there twice?
Oh, it must be. Oh, well, probably not. So let's have a look. Yeah, if they've got Americano there, then...
Well, yeah, but if they've got that Americano there, have they also got Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate on the page? I don't think they have.
True, actually.
Well, sorry.
There he is.
El Grande.
Where's
El Grande?
He's just missed him.
L.
Go up. Go up. There you go.
There.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I can't remember
these names. God.
So is Chad Gable.
What, sorry?
So is Chad Gable, the former Americano.
Didn't get any of that very well.
So is Chad Gable, the former Americano.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The former Americano. Yeah. I was saying it must have been like a very confusing World Cup for Kaiser. Because it's like, well, do I support? He was there, like Mexico, and he's like, when Mexico beat England, we need to film all this content, and then it was just probably like, oh shit, right? And then he's like, well, do I now cheer America? Oh shit, they're out. You know,
Germany.
Yeah, they're all out.
Yeah, but as my wife pointed out, the England manager is German, so he's still got that.
Yeah. Although, quickly speaking about the England match, that literally sounded like a wrestling storyline because they had a match at the Mexico stadium, which was like really high up in like altitude.
Yeah.
So it literally felt like a Lucha Underground storyline.
Yeah. They kept mentioning them playing at the Azteca, and I was like, wait, what? Hang on, was Dario Cueto going to come out in a moment? And...
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, not dipping too much into football jam, but like we could do. But there's so many controversies with this World Cup. It is becoming WWE, where literally with the red card with the Team USA guy, and it's like Trump put in the call, so to have it Overton, he's our star player. We need to have him on the pitch. And then literally, I was just like, this is outrageous. And then I saw, and I didn't know if this was widely reported as much. It was just that England game at the Azteca, apparently Keir Starmer put in a call saying you can't move it earlier in the day; it would put us at a disadvantage. I'm just like, this whole tournament is just like power plays between nations.
Yeah,
It's
you've
just
got
like general managers in like
you got your slightly dodgy officials like might be on one side with the Argentina versus
Did
they played the other day? I can't remember Egypt. With the whole sort of disallowed goal
and everything about we need to keep
disallowed
Messi
goal, but then later
as
on
long as possible. Yeah,
Argentina get a similar situation. Their goals allowed. It's like, hang on, they're getting protests. I thought it was gonna be a yes movement at one point. It was just like,
but literally every sport is a work because they're like, we need to keep Messi in this tournament, and it was like we need to put Ronaldo on first because he's the star, right? All of this is just everyone is Hogan now. Everyone is.
Of course. Sorry, Dad. 1 second. And of course, that's got to be Kane.
But did you even see the France game as well with the penalty last night?
Oh yeah. 3-minute penalty.
The 3 minutes, and then it was just like the actual penalty itself as well. It's like, what was that? And then
they went
to anyone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was the reason that took so long for the call and the penalty, because they went to a commercial. The Swedish broadcast went to a commercial.
God.
Yeah, but the pressure of being like sat there for 3 minutes with the game on the shoulder would kill you.
And then Mbappe takes like stalls the penalty anyway. So he goes up. Missed.
Part of me was like, was that done on purpose as well?
It's all the white guys.
During the Paraguay game, they were like jumping him like he was like Obafemi, like constantly anyway. They were targeting him for like ages. Although, if I was writing the script for the World Cup, I would literally put Scotland to win.
Why? Don't do that.
Keep the fans. The fans were literally taking over America.
What, the Scotland?
Yeah.
Scottish fans?
Yeah, they drank Boston dry. They did it. They did the same in Miami, and they were going to keep going.
Wow.
But then
I think I've said this before. I can't remember what show it was on. We should have when all of Scotland flew out there, we should have invaded Scotland and just be like, right, they're down on men, let's take it, right?
Yeah, NXT did this years ago.
Yeah. But no, guys, I'll tell you something. Like Wimbledon's on at the moment. This is the weird slam jam, just every sport but wrestling.
Yeah.
But Wimbledon's on.
Let's talk about legitimate sport in this show.
And I've been seeing all these clips and stuff. And I think it's like the Seniors League or whatever. I don't know who it is. But I keep seeing these clips on TikTok where they're like, these guys are just playing tennis and they're batting it back and forth. They're hitting it high. And it's like, these guys are so good at the tennis that literally they could work everything to be like, whoa, getting all these near misses and that, and like making it look, and everyone's laughing in the crowd. I'm like, this whole sport is a work as well. Like all of them are.
I found out there's a work version of baseball, which is like all trick shots and stuff as well.
I've always been told before, if you could bet on it, it's a work.
Yeah, I bet that. Yeah.
Brings us right back to wrestling.
It's like
anyway, wrestling. What else is happening? Oh, okay, guys, I've got a story here for you. Which do I have it on the screen? Oh, if I just scroll past it. I'll see if I can find out a bit more of the update about it. But there was a story here saying that I think he's fine as it is, but something about saying Jim Ross is having brain surgery.
Yeah.
And I think it was that's. Oh yeah, here it is. I'll bring it on the screen so we can see what it says here from whatever this. I don't know if it's reputable. Jim Ross says he will undergo brain surgery. Fluid on his brain has been affecting his memory. So, and apparently 40-day hospital stay. So hopefully he'll be all right with that.
Yeah.
Hey, good luck. Funny things we can say about that, is there?
Well, no, we don't have to go for comedy.
Right. Good luck to him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Scary kind of thing to have to face. But what else? What else is on anyone's mind with world wrestling?
Going back to that, I think there's a way that you can get it. Unfortunately, my daughter had the same thing years ago, and like she's fine. So I'm hoping all the best anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We sort of briefly mentioned it, right, with the whole sort of like people being put in couples when they're not really coupled up and all that sort of stuff, with the whole Maxine joining the Vision angle. Did they have to take the tag titles off the Street Profits again? It seems that they're just like they're. It just seemed like a waste of them putting on them in the first place.
Well, I'm pleased they were given the run because it reinvigorates them a little bit. But their whole career,
That's 2 weeks.
yeah, well, I know, but it feels like to me the Street Profits, because they've had the tag titles a number of times, and when I was like, have they? And the thing with this is every time they get it, they do nothing with them. They don't do anything with tag team wrestling generally, anywhere, WWE in particular.
I know, it's wish.
But yeah, it's like you need to push the teams. You need to make them have legitimate runs, build up teams for them to have people to challenge. Because obviously they could head into SummerSlam and they get the rematch there or what have you. But yeah, they shouldn't have taken it off of them like this. Because what is the point? Other than the fact that it's like, well, it goes on the record books.
I'm going to say something after Dev, but you go first.
Go on.
Like the really confusing thing is, like, Montez Ford would be an amazing singles wrestler. He's been held back by Angelo Dawkins for years. Angelo Dawkins was in NXT for years as well, doing nothing. So literally split him up, and like Montez Ford has the possibility to become like a very solid upper mid corner, like our main eventer. He could be like, he's the Shawn Michaels of the group basically, and Dawkins is a Jannetty, holding him back.
But like, I was going to say, I know Montez said they didn't want to leave him behind because of everything that they've been through and whatnot, and that's not his character.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he didn't want to do that. He just doesn't want to leave Dawkins behind anyway. But what I was going to say, get to the point there, we had this whole storyline with like Street Profits and Seth Rollins. Where's that gone? And it's just WWE.
It is WWE.
Just needed muscle to do with Vision, and that was done. So like,
what they do over and over again, with tag teams where it's, and look, this used to be the Usos, and it's been countless tag teams over the years where there'll be a baby face who needs some backup, and suddenly there'll be a tag team comes flying in. It's like, we're all friends. And look, they even played the idea of like, we're not friends, right? Yeah. Which was cool because it meant there was now a dynamic between them with Street Profits and Seth. But it's like you said, as soon as that's kind of done, it's like, oh, they're not associated anymore. And it's and now they're just in obscurity again. And because look, we've gone from within a few weeks of, oh, I guess you're back on TV because your wife can't, bring in the checks anymore. And it's like, well, what's changed? And so it's like, don't suddenly drop them from TV. Even if they've lost it here, if they were to build it up for them to exchange the titles back and forth a couple of times throughout the summer, build up to something bigger towards Survivor Series. But again, with tag teams, unless you build up several tag teams, then it eventually, this team versus the other team for a few months will grow stale, and then they'll be like, well, this is dying off. It's because you need other competition to get a sniff in there, and then you need, not just for the tag titles, when a team needs to be like, well, the Vision needs to transition onto having a feud with someone else, not about tag titles, and then the Street Profits, if they're the champions, need someone to be coming up to challenge for the tag titles, and then if whoever wins or loses, they need a feud which isn't about the titles. Tag teams need feuds which aren't just about the titles.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, Dev.
Sort of breaking news. Apparently, MJF wanted to push the Kenny Omega title match to TV. Originally, it's supposed to be happening in Montreal at the end of the month.
We're talking about this, yeah. It was a very strange decision.
So does it give any reason?
It just said Tony Khan has a bigger plan for Montreal.
A bigger plan for Montreal?
Hmm.
And I'm terrified of that wording because what if a screw job?
Is it in Montreal? Is it
Yeah,
in
it's not
Montreal?
Phil. They're not going to do
Yeah.
that. I think they're smarter than that.
Better not do that.
That'd be nice.
I think they're smarter than that to do that.
Because
Tony Khan's heavy on nostalgia, so I'm not sure.
but
Yeah,
no, they
they've
just need to
done
stay
that
away
every
from that.
time.
Have
Yeah.
Omega. Look, the only thing they could do, because I was wondering this when MJF dropped the title, is if Omega's got the title, and then if they lead into MJF having his rematch, they could do some sort of screw job or whatever, so that way they could justify that All In will be a 3-way. Because even though I think the better match would probably be Omega versus Ospreay, and just have it as a pure 1-on-1, 3-ways always end up a little bit more messy. But if they're like, well, Omega, Ospreay, and MJF has more star power, more ticket sales, if there's a logic like that for All In, that could be their logic to it, if they do have a bigger plan. But again, I wouldn't want I don't want Omega just to lose it this quickly.
Like I said, I think I sort of quote another podcast that said this like for a long time about the Wembley shows when they started coming up. They always said that with the last 2 Wembley shows, the one thing they've really been missing was the big Kenny Omega singles match, and they've got that with the Ospreay match. I really hope that they don't do that. Now you've said that, that's probably where they're going to go. But yeah, they do. I think they do need to end on an Ospreay Omega epic. That show. Now they've got it just there.
Well, and also sometimes you just want something for history. So even someone winning a world title, it'd be like, well, yeah, and even if this is Sami Zayn or Darby Allin earlier this year, it's like, we'll give them a world title, it'll be a short reign, but then the history books will reflect this, and we think that's important, and it will keep this person as more important. That will be good for legacy or good for business in the long run. I think Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay in England, Ospreay wins the world title from Omega, clean finish and all that. That elevates him a lot more. That will elevate Ospreay a lot more to win it in England in a 1-on-1 without anything screwy at the end. You don't need MJF and all this nonsense. Because even in the match, having Omega win after Ospreay ran down and grabbed the Dynamite Diamond ring, I'm like, well, it just gives that wiggle room for saying it's a tiny bit of a screwy finish. Because a character like MJF would just be like, I wasn't doing anything with it. I hadn't done anything. He shouldn't have got in there. He interfered. And it makes it a less clean victory for Omega, even though the finish itself was clean. It was just that there was a little bit of screwiness in that.
Where is All Out being taken place?
That's a really good question. I'll look it up. I don't know. That it always feels like that ends up at Chicago, doesn't it?
Something like that, yeah. Normally.
I don't know if they've announced it actually, just because on Wiki at least have they? Because it's got Redemption, it then says All in London, and then for the next, it doesn't have the next pay-per-view listed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was a very silly move they did a number of years ago. They had All Out the week after All In. It was just like, oh, come on,
right, yeah.
two pay-per-views in a row.
It was your hokey cokey pay-per-view. In Out.
Well, that was the year where they had it in Chicago, and they fired and Punk left. Yeah, the week of the pay-per-view, like the day before the pay-per-view, I think. In fact, they had, or the day before, or the week before. The day off. I'm sure it was the day before.
But Tony Khan came out to the crowd and announced it there.
Yeah, he sat there on the chair. Oh, that was rough. That was rough. God, man. Okay, guys. Anything else before we begin?
Is that 3 or 4 years ago now?
Yeah, that was 2022.
Wow.
That's going to be 4 years this year.
23.
Yeah.
That's 2022.
Yeah.
22.
23.
Was it?
23.
Yes. Oh, okay. So wait.
Last year Wembley wasn't Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. So Brawl Out was 2022. Brawl In was 2023. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Right. Gosh, it's not so quick though.
Yeah. Look, okay, so this is a non-story. Wrestle Talk saying about here. Speculation that was Sami Zayn given the world title as a make good for accepting a pay cut. Interesting in what we're just saying. But then when it says during an interview with Kevin Nash and Sean Oliver, it's like, well, they don't have the inside scoop on this. They didn't reduce Sami's contract and then give him a
To
world
be
title.
fair, to give him credit,
No one.
if anyone know about money in wrestling, it's Kevin Nash.
I don't know. I don't think so anymore. Like, I think the dynamic with the Click is that I think, yeah, exactly. I think Triple H is very much he'll still turn up and and hang out for photos, but I think he still very much keeps because look, there Triple H is more aware than anyone. You don't want people making power plays, and if you've got people that could have influence, you just don't want that. So he'll keep his Shawn Michaels close, but in NXT, and then he won't want other people getting close to the knowledge of what's really going on.
Imagine if CEO Triple H had to deal with 90s Shawn Michaels.
Sorry, say that again.
Imagine if CEO Triple H had to deal with 90s Shawn Michaels.
Well, we already know about Triple H, the wrestler, dealing with Shawn Michaels, not 90s. Well, actually, yeah, it was not. Was it 90s? I think he actually put Shawn straight at some point, where he was actually fighting him at one point as well, but behind the scenes stuff. But
do you know what I reckon? Because obviously it was a completely different environment, and the way Triple H does things, and since he's had any kind of influence, like even when Vince was there, Triple H was the one opening doors again with Bruno Sammartino and Warrior and stuff like this, being about, and he was the and Vince let him to it. It was like and Goldberg and all this kind of thing where there'd been kind of bad blood. It was like Triple H would be like, well, this is good for business. This will be good for you, and he made deals. So I think Triple H would have been able to negotiate that.
See, years ago, I used to call that the video game to the Hall of Fame pipeline.
It's true.
Because they were like, oh, they returned to the game. Suddenly they're back on the show.
Yeah,
even with Macho Man.
It happened with Macho Man. It happened with Goldberg. It happened with Warrior. It happened with Sting.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like Warrior, like game, then TV show appearance, then Hall of Fame. Game, TV appearance, Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Right, guys. Anything else before we
Yeah, for some reason, Damian Priest is now the main eventer on AAA.
Damian Priest is the main eventer on AAA.
Yeah, I brought him in.
Well, it gives them some star power. They have to cycle in WWE names because AAA, when you see their posters and that, there'll be like 3 or 4 luchadors, and then everything else is Dominic, El Grande, whatever tag team that they're taking there at the moment.
I was going to say, Bayley's doing pretty well down there, isn't she?
I haven't seen AAA in a while.
Although, speaking of Bayley, she's doing really well in another thing as well. She has this whole program, I don't know if it's affiliated with WWE or not, where it's called Lodestar, where she has camps with independent female wrestlers, where anyone can sign up for it. And they go for a training seminar with guest trainers from WWE and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like every so often, she opens up with a waiting list for the event, and they sign up, and they'll have a massive event where all these sign-ups will come get trained by Bayley and some random WWE guys. I think last time was John Cena. That helped out.
Mm. That sounds good. What's happening on SmackDown tonight then?
It's a good question.
Punk's arriving. He's going to do some.
Yeah, I should imagine it'll be. So CM Punk returns to SmackDown as new undisputed champion. Trick Williams to battle Carmelo Hayes. Finn goes head-to-head with Tama Tonga. So it's going to be a fairly standard show. It's just going to depend what they do with Punk that's going to be where there's any real new
Yeah.
storylines out of this show.
See,
You know what?
there was,
Sorry.
did see there was an interview with Brie Bella, and they asked her about, and she expressed a bit of disappointment that her first singles match since returning on SmackDown last week was only like 3 minutes. So she's back to like, it's almost like they're going back to give Jeeves a chance again now. It's but that's because they brought the format back down to 2 hours, didn't they?
I was just about to say that it's 2 hours again. So
So instead of like making the content a bit snappier and all that sort of stuff, they've just done the 3 hour show but just shortened the matches.
Mm.
Is Paige wrestling regularly now or not?
Yeah, she's been on fairly regularly.
Huh? Because again, there's another rumor that AJ might bring in Brie to feud with Nikki and Paige.
Other way around, I mean.
you mean Nikki's
Yeah.
coming?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the twins.
Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay,
Let's
so
say right now, if you're watching out there, great. If I'm not interested in that, don't do it.
something I was going to say here. One story here, interesting after what we've been saying about All In with the main event. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen. I have actually seen this come up on adverts myself. There's a promotion where you can get tickets to All In 50% off right now.
Yeah, I've seen it
Oh,
as
wow.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
50% off. And the story here is saying that they've sold about another 2,000 or 3,000 tickets because of that. But currently, and look, there's still weeks until the show. But apparently they've
It's not very
sold
expensive.
close to 30,000 tickets for it, which
Okay.
isn't to be sneezed at. Obviously,
No.
the first year they were there, it was supposedly 70,000. The second year was 53,000. But I think there was some other reason, because there was some concert or like Taylor Swift or something, why they
That's right,
couldn't actually put as much on sale. This there's always the law of diminishing returns. This is what, and I was saying this last week, they really need to push Will Ospreay as being pride of Britain and stuff like this.
Mm.
And whatever's happening with England, they need to be like, when we go out of the World Cup, right? But hopefully we'll win. But when we go out of the World Cup, it needs to be like, I'll step up for our lads and just like try to do this. Try to really rally the whole Englishness of it.
Do you know how you do this?
Go on.
At
Go on.
the next AEW show, Dynamite, present Will Ospreay with an Owen Cup,
A cup.
and have with a cup for winning the Owen, and he can be like the British. Even if England doesn't win the cup, Ospreay has won a cup for England.
Well, yeah,
They
that's
can push that angle.
And it's like say, it's coming home, bruv.
yeah, exactly. They need to lean into this, right? You know, you start coming out to Wonderwall and everything, but just lean into it. But
Saying
so-
that, sorry,
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
just about
Go
to
ahead.
say, when you've just mentioned All In selling 30,000?
Approximately so far.
I think they're actually outdoing SummerSlam at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah,
It shouldn't surprise me because WWE again is so expensive.
Yeah.
It's
Also-
insanity what WWE are doing.
although on a personal note, I want to point out that the venue for All In is terrible for disabled people. Because I was there last week
Terrible
for a
what?
concert. The
Oh,
venue
Wembley.
itself is bad for handicapped people.
Oh.
So I went there for a concert last week, and the seating arrangements were terrible. And like it's if they oversell tickets, it gets really really crowded, and they shove in as much as they can. Like it's literally like bordering on disavowing health and safety laws. They
Oh, wow.
pack in as much as they can, like sardines, and it's slightly terrifying.
Well, look, here's something else though, which I can say about like Wembley and what I'm saying, the law of diminishing returns, is that when I went the second year, I got the second to very back row. So there was the very back row, and I got like one row in front. Could not see shit at all. Absolute waste of time me being there. However, because it didn't sell as well, I got bumped, and so I had a great seat. I had a much better seat than I did the first year. And when you learn something like that, if I was to go, I'd probably think, well, let's see what resale tickets I can get very cheap the week of the show, and I'll probably be able to get bumped if it's not, if they're hovering around 40,000, 45, and they're just worried about their camera angles, they'll bump you down and or bump you up rather to a better position for the camera angles, basically. But also because it's a 70,000 seater stadium, people can leave it until the week of. There's we're going through a heat wave, and literally it's been June heat wave, hottest June ever. July still a heat wave, and people are like, what's this summer going to be? There's going to be people that are leaving things until they decide how they feel the day of something.
And being a heat wave and being wrestling fans, please wash. Please
wash. Yeah, just wash. Get a clean shirt.
Yes.
It's an AEW show. You're asking too much.
Yeah, definitely. My God, it's so true. When I was there with my girlfriend the first year, this is the first time. Well, actually, we had been to WWE Clash at the Castle, but that was the first wrestling show she'd ever been to. And then the AEW one, she was just like, "Why is everyone in a black t-shirt like it was a cult?" And she's like, "There's a lot of beards around." And I was just like, "Yeah, these are wrestling fans."
See, because of that, I've made a point where I make wrestling t-shirts for indie wrestlers. I make sure not to make any black ones.
Yeah.
I keep making other color ones, like white, yellow, red, etc., etc. I'll never make a black one.
Good stuff. Right, anyway, guys, let's wrap things there. So let's find out where we can find everyone. I'll quickly refresh to see if there's any last-minute breaking news. But Dave, where can the people find you?
At David Jervis Green on Insta, TikTok, and all that other stuff, and at APD Improv for improv-related stuff, and on, if we're doing it, on Jester Jam at the moment.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, quite possibly then, because I was just literally sending a message saying, is anyone jumping on this?
Oh,
right,
yeah.
All right.
You can find me here. Find me here and on YouTube. Best Family Adventures. That's the one. But yeah, I'm going to be adding more content to that pretty soon as well. So
awesome stuff, Dev.
Find me on TikTok and Twitch. On the FWDAT. You can find me in the freezer section in Iceland, getting away from this cold heat.
Yes. My name is David Sansky. Follow me at Slam Jam Wrestling Show for everything Slam Jam related. Follow, just find Slam Jam on all the platforms. And with that, until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, keep slamming and jamming your Slam Jam bronies, and boom, you're off the air.